So here we are for my first actual unboxing of anything really, besides my PlayStation 5 Spider-Man thing that I did a while back. But this is gonna sound a bit different because I moved from my actual desk where I do my recordings to another room where I have a TV, light, all of this good stuff set up. So how this is going to work is I'm going to unbox this, feel it for the first time. I wanted to do this yesterday, but the audio on here was way worse than maybe what you're hearing now, so I had to get that working. But I'm here now. I'm gonna unbox this. I'm gonna give my first hands-on impressions and how it feels finally for the first time, and I'm gonna compare it to about several, maybe 8, 9 controllers as well. And I also have the Pulse wireless headset here to unbox as well. So we're gonna go through that too. Probably unbox this, then comparisons of the controller. So let's do it. Starting off, okay. Every time somebody does an unboxing, I always think they have a struggle with the box. You can tell this is my first time trying to unbox this thing. There we go. Didn't want to tear the box there. Oh. And the reason I didn't go over what's on the box is because we already know all of that stuff. We don't need to go over that a billion times. Put that over there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my wow. This feels great, man. Oh my goodness. Let me feel the triggers. They feel great. People had issues with this button over here being not a circle anymore. I don't know if I really have an issue with that. The sticks feel great too. Buttons feel great. This is not as big as you would think, or maybe my hand's just big. But I didn't think it would be. I don't know. I thought it looked a bit bigger, but this fits. My hand's actually still a bit bigger than this, but oh my goodness! After covering this for so long, it feels so good to hold one of these. Pretty sure you guys have seen all of this good stuff at this point. I wasn't even looking at the camera to see what I was showing here, but because I'm just kind of in the moment of actually unboxing this for the first time. Usually I would plug this in and try to play, but we don't have a PlayStation 5 here today. So that's all I really can do. And again, we already know haptics, triggers, mic, charging. We already know all of this. Mute button. This is not stuff we need to reiterate. If you've been following my channel, you know literally every detail about this controller. So let's move on to the next piece. The unboxing of the headset, and then we'll move directly over to the actual controller unboxing. So let me put that over there. Feels so good to hold. Move this box. Sorry if you hear those boxes in the background. And here, sorry, we've got the Pulse 3D wireless headset, and we pretty much know a lot about this as well. Not really much to say. Mainly going to be used for the PlayStation 5. Not really the PlayStation 4 as much. Not really for my phone. Not really for a PC. Just mainly for the PlayStation 5. I have Bose headphones that I'm using right now while I'm doing this recording. So this is mainly going to be the PlayStation 5 headset, so I can throw away the other headsets that I have. But let's do this unboxing as well. I'm gonna have to be able to move my camera a bit farther back when I do the PlayStation 5 unboxing, realizing how this is a small box compared to the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 is a behemoth. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Ooh, this is, move all these to the side. Sorry for that. Whew. I've had some of these other Pulse headsets. This one has to be the nicest one so far. The not Pulse headsets, the Platinum, Gold, all the other headsets that Sony have had before for PlayStation. We've got chat, game. I've actually never looked at this one directly. Off, monitor, volume, mic, the charging, the connection, if you want to connect it via, a headphone jack, which is what I'll probably do now, considering I can connect this onto my PlayStation 4 and just enjoy it for now, using it there. But once it comes to the PlayStation 5, that's going to be there fully. The cushions feel nice. I gotta feel them for myself when I put them on, because I really love my Bose headphones and how they feel. In comparison, I would have to compare these. This feels good. I haven't really had something like this. My Bose's little arc here is very comfortable. It has a little bit of padding as well. So I'm gonna have to compare this as well. And even on the PlayStation 5, I feel like I'm going to have this wired connection on this. I'm not the biggest fan of charging anything, so I'm probably going to have this wired as well. And I just realized that the box actually has the USB that probably you use to connect to the PlayStation 5. But again, the real stuff I want to get to is the controllers, but this feels great to hold. So I realized I forgot to show you what's inside the box. We have the stick I mentioned earlier, the USB stick for wireless connectivity. For the headset, you have the wire for wired connection to your controller here. And of course, you have the charging wire as well, USB-C to USB-A. Not sure why. I guess maybe this is to be more compatible with whatever else you're connecting it to. Because of course the PlayStation 5 has USB-C and A, I believe, both of them. So I just wanted to slide this into the video just for people who are curious. And that's really it. Back to the video. And now, the actual part of this that's really exciting, well, besides, of course, all of this stuff is very exciting, is actually going through all of these controllers that I have here onto the left and comparing them to the Dualsense controller. So, Dualsense, I guess the first one I should bring up is the PlayStation 3. So, this is the actual original 6-axis controller, and the DualShock 3 is not really that much different. So I decided to use this one because it's the original, it's the light feeling controller. It's the first one before they actually got flamed and got the DualShock. And I'm not going to give a description for each one of these controllers, probably just this one, just because it has a bit of history with it in regards to why I'm using the 6-axis. But here we go. Right here, the triggers. Of course, you can see the different types of triggers. Sony kind of moved to better triggers with the DualShock 4, in my opinion. So you've got these ones versus, I don't know what you would name them, concave, convex, whatever you want to name them. But they moved from these types of triggers to what's on the DualShock 4, and they've kind of a bit evolved it here. I would love to try these on when I actually have my PlayStation 5 and feel the adaptive triggers. But yeah. This is the top side. We got the micro USB versus the actual USB-C indicator of the which player you are. And on the PlayStation 5, I believe that would be over here. You would have indicators over here. Check. Can I get these on the same screen? Yeah. Okay. Let me hold this. Oh my goodness. The difference in holding this versus holding this, it's pretty impressive. And bear with me if I'm not doing the best unboxing. This is pretty much my first ever unboxing, so I'll get better with these in time, hopefully. But this feels like a plastic toy in comparison to this over here. Holy. Wow. I love the what they have here with the DualShock 4 and the DualSense as opposed to what they have here. Again, convex, concave, whatever you want to call it, inward, outward, whatever you want to call it. But I just want to get these because I know people would want to see these. If I was somebody watching this, I would want to see these close up. And if any of these controllers appear a bit dirty, my apologies. I have not touched them in a long time. Let's see. Okay. Let's put the PlayStation 3 6-axis controller to the side. DualShock 4. These have pretty much kind of the same feeling. I guess here, I don't know, is it a bit thicker on the DualShock or is it just because I'm feeling it on my left versus my right? I'm not really sure. Okay. Oh, it definitely feels better on the DualSense controller as opposed to the DualShock. The DualShock 4 feels good. I'm not saying it doesn't, but the DualSense feels a bit more premium. Or maybe this is the placebo effect and I'm just thinking it is because it's the new controller. But to me, it feels more premium than what we're getting here with the DualShock 4. Am I going to miss this? Let me... It's not really a big deal. I realized I just turned on my PlayStation 4. This is not really going to bother me. People are trying to... I've seen some people trying to make a big deal out of this, but this is not really going to bother me. All right, let's get through these because I realize I'm taking a very long time to go through everything here. But just so people can see. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I probably sound ridiculous right now. Just because this is just how I feel. Wow. I am a bigger fan of the DualSense. Just holding it right away. This feels just like I don't know what Sony did in their labs, but this feels like a natural upgrade from the DualShock 4. It's a way better feeling controller. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. Buttons feel greater. Ooh, these feel a bit like more. These feel easier to push. These feel a bit more, I don't know, prominent in terms of how they feel against my finger, but the actual push feels a bit more difficult. Not difficult. It's a weird word to say. It's not really bothersome, but I'm saying it feels a bit more. You need to put a bit more to push it down. Maybe I'm crazy on that. Okay. Yeah. Love the DualSense so far. Probably doing the worst unboxing you have ever seen. But we're going to go and power through this. So we've got the DualShock 4 to the side. And what I want to start with here is now move on to Xbox. So I wish I had the Duke controller, but I only have my original Xbox controller here. The Duke, for anybody who doesn't know, I would suggest you search it up. For anybody who thinks the Xbox One controller or the DualSense or the Xbox Series X controllers are big, I suggest you go look at the the Duke controller. It's very big. Am I missing something from this? I feel like I'm missing something from this. Or maybe it only had these bottom triggers. My mind is blanking. I'm going to have to look at that after the video and probably look ridiculous in the comments. But yeah, just to show you the size comparison. My goodness, this is a big controller. And the Duke was even bigger. I'm like silent at times, and I apologize for that. It's just because I'm examining this for myself for the first time. Just looking at these. I kind of miss these types of, I guess the Xbox One. No, the Xbox One is a better evolution, I guess you would say. But the triggers on the DualSense still feel amazing. They feel similar to the DualShock 4 a bit, I guess. I would have to turn it on to feel the adaptive triggers to know the real effect. But let's get these babies up here. Boom. And let's put that to the side. Next is, and I realize it's not white. It's a bit grayish here or yellowish. I cleaned it up as best as I could, but I have not touched this controller in a very long time. So this is what a lot of people still with the Xbox One consider the gold standard controller. The 360 controller, people were obsessed with this controller. This is for a lot of people the best controller out there, even though we have the Xbox One and the Series X. It still feels great to hold in the hand. But I personally love the size of the DualSense controller here. Let's get this. Oh my goodness, DualSense is much like taller than the 360 controller. The 360 controller is a baby now. Okay, realize we're about 16 minutes in, so we'll try to speed this up a bit. So we got the 360 controller to the side. Let's bring, of course, the Xbox One controller. And this is also, for some people, the gold standard. I personally love the DualShock 4, but, you know, everybody has their own opinions. But and I guess this would be the Series X controller as well without the share button. But here you got the size comparison. They look about, you know, similar in size. Let me feel. I'm personally a fan of the DualSense triggers, which is again the DualShock. They're similar to the DualShock 4. From memory, just feeling it right now. I'm still a fan of this, the home button there. Some people might miss the circle, but just to see them right there beside each other. I wouldn't say maybe the Series X. No, actually, I can't really tell which one's really bigger right off the bat. Maybe it looks different when you finally see it on video. But I'm looking at my video right now, and they don't. I don't know. I'm trying to get different angles here to be able to do this. I guess maybe the DualSense is a bit bigger for some. Yeah, I guess maybe looking at it here. But again, both of these, oh, this feels much heavier. Like not much heavier, just a bit more, like, you know, it feels like there's a lot in here packed in densely, as opposed to the Xbox One controller, which is like very light. Just like very light in comparison. Well, I guess very light is same as way more heavy. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but it feels lighter here as opposed to the DualSense controller. But again, it feels like there's a lot packed in, and we know that. There's a lot packed in, a lot of tech packed into this controller itself, as opposed to this Xbox One controller here. This is probably the most important comparison. Both of these feel good. I don't know. You guys are going to have to make your decision on this, but both of them feel good to me. I've liked the Xbox One controller. I'm not going to sit here and hate it. But I've always been a fan of the DualShock. But now it's just... the DualSense feels like it's a midway in between what Xbox has and what the DualShock 4 was, which, of course, I love. All right. Let's move on to the next one. What should I start with? For fun of it, I had the NES here, but I'm not gonna really go into this. But here it is. You know, if you wanted that. I have the GameCube here. And for a lot of people, this is one of the best fighting controllers, I guess. A lot of people use this on Smash, and to this day, people seemingly have been obsessed with this controller. I personally didn't get it, but you know, to each their own. Let me feel this. So I actually paused the video recording a bit just because I got actually tired. My back was killing me standing up here for nearly 22 minutes so far. But let's move over from the GameCube controller and to the Switch Pro controller. Now, over here, this is one of the controllers that really tried to take what Xbox has done over here and with the 360 and try to do their own rendition of it, which they did pretty well. I like the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. You know, the same type of... I don't want to make this a Switch Pro comparison, but let's go over here. These have a bit more of a tick as opposed to these. These feel a bit more free as opposed to the Switch Pro, which is like a bit of a click. That's interesting. I didn't notice this with the Xbox One controller, but here we go. The DualSense is bigger than the Switch Pro from what I can see here. Yeah, it's definitely bigger. And again, this is my first unboxing, so please be nice. Yeah. If anybody wanted to know how big the Switch Pro and the DualSense controller were, it's right here. I'll put these, because this is trying to be this, but smaller. This is like a mix of the DualShock and the Xbox, and it's actually bigger than this, but between the Xbox, you can't really tell. Again, I'm not going to fall back into this conversation, but yeah. Let's move the Xbox controller over to the side. Over here, let's take the Switch. I love the D-pad on the Switch. That's one thing I'll say. It's a bit more clicky on the Switch as opposed to the DualSense controller. Oh yeah, definitely more clicky. I'm probably switching on everything right now. Man, I am in love with this controller. Honestly, I can't. I gotta get used to this though. It's a bit more sharp in comparison to the DualShock. I have to get a bit used to it because my hand is, I guess my hand is big. I would call my hand big. And I guess it's it feels it at the bottom there. I'll have to get used to that. But I love the shape, I love the look, I love the feel. This actually is a bit more weightier than the Xbox controller. It feels a bit like there's more packed in than the Xbox controller. I'm not sure if that's by design. USB-C here as well. Right? Or am I crazy? Yeah. All right. Let's put that to this mountain of controllers over here. And just for giggles again, or I guess not, it depends on who you are. This is a MIFI controller over here that I would use with my Apple TV, my iPhone, my iPad for gaming on mobile. I know some people might find that crazy, but I do such things. So this is what I would use over there. And this one is trying to replicate more of a DualShock feel as opposed to anything else, because you can see it right here, the two symmetrical sticks as opposed to diagonal sticks. And I guess nobody really cares about this controller because you don't know what it is, but I just wanted to put that up there. Let's put this to the side. And for people who keep asking, this is the attachment, the back button attachment for the DualShock 4. And no, it does not work with the DualSense controller. Like, you can put this in here, but like this does not work. It is the very different structure than the DualShock 4. Just wanted to throw that in there. And since nobody else shows the Vita love, I just wanted to throw the Vita in here mainly because of the buttons over here. And my apologies, I have not touched my Vita in a very long time. I cleaned it as best as I could, but in terms of, like, you know, the glass over, the plastic over, the button, no colors, they pretty much have that going. I don't know. I'm assuming this was a throwback to the Vita, because that's what I'm seeing here. But yeah. I'm comparing the Vita as if it means anything. Let's put that to the side. But this has been the ultimate comparison with every controller that I have at my apartment that I could just throw in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this video is like almost half an hour long, and I apologize for that. I didn't know it was going to go that long, but it did. And if you guys did enjoy it, please hit that like button, as it always helps. And subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.